Good morning, everyone. How you doing today? Michael Zuber with One Rental at a Time, and we are going to talk about BRRRR, buy, repair, rent, refi, repeat. And we're going to do that with Steve from Velocity Mortgage. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic. And yourself, sir?
I'm doing great. Well, do me a favor, get that marketing and HR thing out of the way. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. Although I work for Velocity Mortgage Capital, all the expressions and ideas talked on the show are that of my own. And let's get it rolling.
There you go, man. So one of the things I want to talk about that is really hot these days, and it's because of all the books out there, is what's called the BRRRR strategy, right? Buy, repair, rent, refi, repeat. And I do think it's risky. I've seen a lot of people get burned when they can't get out of the other side because they borrowed all the money.
Right.
So I want to talk about the BRRRR strategy and how Velocity Mortgage can help with that. Because again, you're not letting somebody borrow 100%, frankly. There are people out there like, hey, I'm going to go borrow 100 grand from my mom, 75K purchase, 25K remodel. And then, oh, by the way, I go back and get an appraisal and I only get 90K. Sorry, mom, you only got 90K back. I can't tell you how many people have done that. It's like, whoops. And that's why, again, you could have a partner like Velocity Mortgage here, because you know that's a risk. So your programs up front, right, are very different, right? You're going to ask for a down payment. But then you're going to cover the repairs. So why don't you talk about just how you play in that space?
Sure. Well, basically, we'll cover 75% of the acquisition price, but 100% of the rehab up to 75% of ARV, or not to exceed that. But other than that, it kind of works out in many cases. For example, we had a particular BRRRR deal specifically in the Westchester, California area. Picked it up for 1.1 million.
Okay.
Put down to 25%. So he borrowed about a little over $1 million, 1,025 to be exact.
Okay.
And then, so after he rehabbed it about 8 months, listed for 1.5, was in contract in 7 days for 1.6, 15-day escrow, and pulled out his 275 back out and actually made 300,000 profit. So it's not too bad, for that kind of a BRRRR situation. It's just some people might get a little nervous about the actual loan size, but if you're doing the work and the numbers make sense, it's just a bigger project. So just
people know how I feel about BRRRR, and it's really because the refinance. Because again, a purchase refi or a purchase appraisal is different than a refi appraisal. People don't get that. A refi appraisal is so much more conservative because there's not a signed contract. There's not an agreement between a buyer and a seller. So the appraisal is there going, well, I kind of think, and they're going to always skew lower, but I just like the fact that Velocity Mortgage doesn't let people get in trouble, right? What's the worst thing that happens with Velocity Mortgage is you can't get your money out, but you sell the property because you have 25% equity, right? Because you have
Well, we've got a lot of insight, especially in the Southern California market where our corporate office is located. So we see a lot of actually California ARV. So we can bring a lot of insight to the project, especially needed for somebody, just starting off. So typically they'll just send in a loan application, a detailed, what we call SOI or schedule of improvements, so that we can see what the requested rehab funds is be justified for that amount. But other than that, that's pretty much all I need. And our appraisal department kind of review it in less than 12 hours and let us know, or typically 12 hours or so, depending upon the month. But after that, we'll be able to kind of tell them if it's a legitimate deal, if the numbers kind of make sense. Otherwise, it's like, no, there's what we're seeing in the market, it doesn't make any sense as far as where your numbers are at. So we try not to get them in trouble if we can help it from the beginning, because we're in partnership with them. We don't want to, you know what I mean? Our money's tied up too. So yeah, we don't start this thing. It's like, oh, well, I already knew 3 months ago this wasn't going to appraise. So it's like, no, we don't want to do that. Yeah.
No, and that's why I think, like non-QM lenders, again, that the space you play in between banks and hard money is so valuable today. I wish it was there when I was doing my thing in the beginning.
Right.
Because again, you are there to protect the borrower. How many new investors get all excited about a deal that when an experienced person looks at it, it wasn't a deal? It was too rough. The numbers were off or bad. I mean, that's why having an experienced partner be a part of this is pretty important. Whether you're doing a 100K house or, a $1.1 million house, having somebody there that's going to review your numbers probably should, it should feel good, right? Velocity Mortgage, I like how you said that, is their partner in this, right? Because God damn it, you want your money back and your interest.
Well, yeah, we want
right?
to start off the right way in the partnership, otherwise if it's a eventual sinking ship, it's like we're not going to be able to continue the partnership at some point. So no, we've been around since 2004. We want to continue that as well. So definitely bigger picture, set them up right in the beginning, try to lower the cost of carrying the money as much as possible.
Sure.
And then talk about the options of exiting, right? Idealistically, use our acquisition money for the purchase rehab, and then maybe exit on a conventional loan if possible. But if not, that's when you come to me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So again, this is all helpful stuff. Again, if you are in the business of flipping homes or you're doing BRRRR because you have limited capital, you need a partner like Velocity Mortgage. So you can really get that engine going, right? Something I did pretty well in 2010 is I kept, it wasn't Velocity Mortgage, it was private money, frankly, at the time, is I kept buying and recycling the same 40 grand over and over and over and over again. And that's, if you do it right and you work and you set it up with Velocity Mortgage or yourself, you can really set it up an assembly line where, because I've always said my focus was access to capital in deals.
Yep.
If Velocity Mortgage takes care of the access to capital, then you could just focus on deals.
Just find the deals. Exactly. The most important thing next to actually finding the project or the good deal is the finance, unless you're Jeff Bezos or
exactly. You can stroke a check.
Just throw money. Right. But no, that's basically it. And then in addition to that, as far as the BRRRR strategy, as far as seasoned investors, at some point they're going to hit the limitations for conventional financing for rental properties as it is anyway. So that's when you would also come to me. So it hits both the beginner flipper and the seasoned flipper, because again, or investor, because they're going to hit certain limitations for conventional financing. So that's where I think we'll be able to handle both.
And again, if you given this and that credit criteria and where it's located, you can get 30-year money under 6%.
Yes, sir. Even on multifamily.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, I'm going to go look at my portfolio and figure out how I can go buy some more multifamily. That's kind of crazy.
Right.
So, Stephen, how do you want them to get a hold of you if they want to reach out and have a partnership created?
Email is probably typically the best way, because then if there's certain questions on there, I can have multiple departments kind of looking into it, get you a quick answer. But just Dow, S for my first name, Dow, DAO, at velocitymortgage.com. Mortgage spelled out, by the way.
Yep. Very cool. Folks, just in case you know, I paid somebody finally to clean up my descriptions below all my videos. You scroll down right about the middle there. There is a section called discounts for one rental at a time, family or services. You can go ahead and reach out to Stephen. His email is down there somewhere. So have fun, buddy.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it again.